What's up, my Essential Units? It's Essential Man here. So before the start of this video, a couple of days ago, I did a poll on an app called Poll for All. So the poll is which WCW/NWA you want me to review. This is just an update, folks. So your choices are WCW's Spring Stampede '94, WCW Spring Stampede '99, NWA Wrestle War 1989, and WCW's New Blood Rising 2000. So far, leading in the poll is WCW Spring Stampede 94. So to vote, I'm gonna put the poll on the not description, but on the comment section below to vote, and the review will be on this Wednesday, folks. So anyway, so enjoy my classic Raw review, folks. My Essential Units is Essential Man here, so this is my review of Raw is War for the 14th of April 1997. This is the go home show to Raw before Revenge of the Taker. This episode of Monday Night Raw was broadcast in both the United States of America and Johannesburg, South Africa. This Raw, when I watch it, it suffered by typical difficulties. The commentating in some of the matches of the show cut out midway of matches of the show. I'm gonna put the technical difficulties in the bad in my final ratings of this Raw. We'll get to the final ratings of this Raw at the end of this review. In the American portion of this Raw, you had on commentary you had Vince McMahon and Jim Cornette. And then on the South African portion of this Raw, on commentary, you had Jim Ross and the Honky Tonk Man. So, the first match to kick off this episode of Monday Night Raw, we got the Road Warriors / the Legion of Doom. I prefer to call them the Road Warriors. Yeah, Legion of Doom, naming after, you know, the super villain group from the DC universe. Anyway, they're taking on the Godwins. That is Phileas and Henry. I think Phileas is the future Midian, part of the Ministry of Darkness, and Naked Midian in the year 2000. The match was okay. You had Owen and Bulldog, you know, because the Road Warriors are the number one contenders for the WWF Tag Team Championship at Revenge of the Taker. Yeah, the tag team champions at the time were Owen Hart and the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. It came down, they interfered. In the end, the Bulldog hit the I think it was Hawk or Animal. I think it was Animal in the head with the tag team title belt, and I think it was Henry or Phileas pinned Hawk and Animal for the win. So it's just what it is, getting a last laugh, you know, building up their match at Revenge of the Taker. So the next match, this is in the South African portion. I think they call it the African Storm Tour. This is a mistake, you know. Yeah, it's a house show. House shows are canon, but this is broadcast around the world. I don't want to get into it. So yeah. And the first match of the South African portion of this Raw, you had Hunter Hearst Helmsley with China in his corner. Hunter Hearst Helmsley is the future Triple H, taking on Jesse James. Jesse James is the future Road Dogg. Yeah, we got future former members of D Generation X. They end up teaming up, you know, the following year in 1998 after Shawn Michaels retired due to back injury. Anyway, so the match was good. I think this was match of the night for me. It wasn't a 4-star classic. You know, it's back and forth between Jesse James and Helmsley. Trying to keep it short and simple. It was 15 minutes long. Bit boring, but they told a good story in the ring. In the end, Honky Tonk Man. They brought up like a couple of weeks ago. You know, you had Jesse James. You had Honky. Basically offered Jesse James to be his like manager, mentor, but he kind of like threw it back in his face. You know, breaking Honky Tonk Man's guitar, into pieces, so that's the reason. Yeah, Honky interfered. Yeah, China distracted the referee. Honky top man cheap shots. Jesse James, and then afterwards, Hunter Hearst Helmsley hit the pedigree for the win. And then Jesse James grabbed the mic, says, "Yo, you hired some mysterious man to gun me up this Sunday." And he challenged the Honky Top Man to get in the ring, to fight him in the ring, but Honky refused, and that was it. So, we'll get to Revenge of the Taker next time. So that's part of my story arc, for the classic WWE pay-per-view review segment. The second one, because the first one I did was the half year of Punk. This one is, WWF in 1997, 25 years later. Anyway, so that was it. Yeah, it was match. I think it's match of the night. It was just like, I thought it's gonna further up the progressing the storyline between, the rivalry between Helmsley and Goldust. They show a clip when Marlena, that's Terry Reynolds, got tapped by China. Anyway, so the next match we got Rocky Maivia, the future Rock, taking on Savio Vega, represent the Nation of Domination. Yeah, Rock will end up becoming a future member of the Nation of Domination. That'll be later on in the year. This was boring. This was 18 minutes, by the way. 18 minutes, nearly 20 minutes long. Wow, it was a snore fest. I was completely bored about this match. Yeah, I praised the Helmsley Jesse James match. That was a back and forth match. This was boring. A lot of rest holds. The most notable, it might have been the first time you had Rocky Maivia hit the rock bottom. He wasn't really called the rock bottom at the time, but that was cool. But besides that, in the end, I think Maivia hit the cross body. I thought that was the finisher, but it wasn't. He was going for the shoulder breaker, but instead, Savio Vega countered it, rolled Rocky Maivia up for the win. That led up to facing Rocky Maivia for the IC title at Revenge of the Taker. And then afterwards you had the rest of the Nation. It's funny, I don't like this version of the first version of the Nation of the Domination. Sorry, stumbling by the way. I don't like the first version of the Nation of Domination, the first one with Savio Vega and Crush. I like the second version with Mark Henry and the Godfather and the Rock. That was kind of like a typical anti-white faction. Seeing like D'Lo Brown wearing a tuxedo, really. But anyway, so the rest of the Nation's beating down Rocky Maivia. Then Ahmed Johnson came to the rescue. So that set up the main event. Or we'll get to the main event later on in this review. So I say it's the worst match of the show. And then we got, Vince McMahon interviewing Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin cut a good promo. He said that he blames, you and Gorilla Monsoon, because the reason why he said he pointed at Vince, because everyone knows Vince at the time is, to this day, still the owner of WWF/WWE, but at the time he was the commentator, the announcer. So he said, you and Gorilla Monsoon has a fit to hold me down as long as you can. You don't hold me down. And I grab him behind the ass to get what I want. And he brings about Bret Hart. Everything you done is copying me. You walk like me, talk like me. You design image to look like me. When your ass, basically I'm gonna beat, Bret Hart's ass. When your ass will be in a bloody heap. Doesn't matter when you sit there booing me and cheering me. You can't deny I'm the toughest SOB in the ring when the bell goes off. Yeah, he put himself over. That was very true. Austin, to this day, Austin is the tough guy, toughest son of a bitch in the business. So, and yeah, and he brings up Brett, Brett's got screwed. I was screwed by Vince McMahon. I was screwed by Stone Cold Steve Austin. You haven't been screwed by Stone Cold Steve Austin yet. I'm trying to remember the promo that well. So it was good, but it's hard. I don't write down. I just wrote down Vince interview Stone Cold Steve Austin, Anyway, so he said like, you say you're the best it is, the best it was, the best it will be, until your day is come to an end. I live it till every day of my life. You know, he says the bottom line, I whoop your ass. So yeah, you know, it was a good promo. You know, it's like building up their match at Revenge of the Taker. So I think I missed out something. Yeah, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I thought I did, but fuck it. Yeah, it was good. He would just say like, you know, I'm gonna whoop it. I'm gonna beat his ass. I'm gonna beat the living hell of the X. I think he called it. Yeah, he said the X's execution in his promo, in my knowledge. But yeah, it was a good promo. Yeah, he didn't really. He called out. He didn't really call out Vince. You know, he was gonna whoop his ass. You know, it led up to Austin stunning Vince for the first time later on in the year. This was like still in the feud between Owen and Austin. This was after SummerSlam, but Vince was holding down. I got what I want, and you know, he just put himself over. Said, "I'm gonna beat your ass," and so yeah, yeah. Let's move on to the next promo. So sorry, yeah, great man. Anyway, so then we got the next match we got Goldust versus the Sultan. The Sultan is the future Rikishi. I'm shocked how Rikishi's physique, when he was Rikishi, he's about 350, 400 pounds. When he was the Sultan, he was a bit slimmer. He was about around 280, 290, 300 pounds. Wow. He was still fat, but not that fat when he was Rikishi, like a couple of years later. But the match was, I don't really say, it was an okay match. It was kind of meh. Just progressing the rivalry between Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Goldust. Yeah, Helmsley and China came down to the ring, beat down Goldust. That match ended in DQ. Then you had Sultan, China, Helmsley beating down Goldust. I think like they hit like an assisted power driver, and then the Sultan locking the camel clutch onto Goldust, and then when the Sultan locking the camel clutch onto Goldust. Oh, by the way, you had the Iron Sheik in the corner of the Sultan. It's really shocking how the Iron Sheik, it was still in the company in 1997. I thought he returned at WrestleMania 17 in the year 2001. But anyway, so yeah, while like the Sultan locking the camel clutch onto Goldust, Triple H did some punches. I think like the Iron Sheik hit. I think it was Iron Sheik or the Sultan hit Goldust with the Iranian flag, and that was it. So yeah, the Sultan gimmick was completely stupid. It's a little bit racist jingle because Rikishi, was it called Fatu? That's his real name. He's not really Muslim. He's Samoan, like Yokozuna. He's not really Japanese. He's Samoan. Yeah, it's just basically, hey, let's have a wrestler with a darker skin pretend to be with a different race. Waka waka. So moving on to the Bret Hart. This is an anti-American promo. He's in Kuwait, waving the Kuwaiti flag. Says this flag represents honor and pride. In South Africa, I'm doing the same. And he said, I represent, like, I'm proud to be the hero of people around the world. I represent what's right or wrong. I understand. Yeah, I understand what's right or wrong. And then he goes into the American part. The Americans don't understand what is right or wrong. And he goes towards he said and he said lost in turmoil. And he said he didn't respond to Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels spread lies about me. Malicious lies about me. Steve Austin called him a hyena. You're not tougher than the excellence of execution. The best it is, the best it was, the best it ever will be. And he said, like, you got to be better or be beaten by the excellence of execution. You call him, he's a bully, he's a tyrant. It's just what it is. It was like, it's just what it is. He's not like, he's like touring around the world. you know, calling Austin he's a bully. He called him a liar. You know, who he said who would look up to Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that was it. You know, I'm trying to keep it short and simple, folks. Or I don't really make an hour-long reviews of of wrestling pay-per-views or normal wrestling shows. I'm trying to keep it down about 30 minutes to 40 minutes. You know, but overall, I think it was a good promo for Bret Hart. You know, it's just setting up, you know, their match at Revenge of the Taker that well. So yeah, the next match of the night, not match of the night, but the next match of the show, we got the Headbangers. That is Mosh and Thrasher taking on Vader and Mankind. They bring up last week, you know, Vader got involved in Mankind's match with Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then they end up like brawling a bit. Then Paul Bearer, I don't think he's on this show, kind of be the peacemaker. So it's up this match on the show. The match was okay, wasn't great, but a bit disappointing because you're building Mankind up to face the Undertaker for the world title at Revenge of the Taker. You had like, you know, the both Headbangers, you know, attack Mankind in the stage, the ramp area, and then Vader did like a double splash on both the Headbangers. In the end, I think it was Marshall Thrasher kind of sprays the red mist into the face of Mankind. That caused a DQ. He was going, instead of locking the mandible claw onto both the Headbangers, he accidentally locked in the mandible claw onto Vader, and that was it. In my opinion, it made Mankind completely weak. Like, all of a sudden he fired the fireball in the face of the Undertaker to not having a good win to build up to his world title match on a pay-per-view. It's just what it is. So anyway, and then you got the Undertaker's voice. He didn't show up, you know, still recovering from I think from the fireball attack by Mankind a couple weeks earlier. So Taker's voice, he didn't show up in South Africa. He brings like the end. I'm gonna remember the promo. I'm trying to remember the promo that one. It says the end is at hand. You know, it said Mankind's flame is coming. You will face the face of the flames of the rage of the Undertaker. You'll be beaten at my feet. I will release the souls of the demons. You will torment you. You will not rest in peace. You will burn in hell. And that was it. It was just what it is, whatever. You know, it's just hear the voice of the Undertaker. You know, yeah, I understand they're trying to keep him as a mystery, how he looked like from the fireball attack. You know, he'll get to Revenge of the Taker. Don't worry, folks. So, anyway, we got the Slammy Award segment. You know, instead of like people like wrestlers, you know, receiving awards, you got women in bikinis. You had Terry Reynolds, you know, wearing a bikini. You had Sunny, Tommy Sitch wearing the bikini, and you got Sable wearing the bikini. Like they are hottest women at the time. You know, Sable, Terry Reynolds, and Terry. I don't remember. Terry Reynolds. Yeah, like Marlena, Sable, and Sunny. I'm trying to say. I think that was just 3 women at the time. They're not really actually wrestlers, because at this moment in time the women's division was non-existent. Yeah, it came back. Yeah, it revived the following year in '98. You know, with bringing like women's like Jacqueline and Tori, not Tori Wilson, but Terry Cooch, I think that's her name, and Ivory. You know, that'll be in the late '90s. But back then they're just like basically personalities. You know, like at the time, you know. Marlena is at the time like married to Goldust, but she was both Marlena and Sable, they were managers. You know, Marlena is the manager of Goldust. Sable is the manager of Mark Merrill. This before the whole storyline. You know, Mark Merrill is jealous of Sable's success, and so she is a manager, but at the same time she is kind of like a personality. So, and then we got the promo of the Commandant. I call him the Commander in the last review, But the Commandant, Commander, same thing. I'm trying to keep it short and simple. Saying like, you know, bring in the commandos, the best, was it warriors come out from Africa, um, you know, domination and superior throughout America and here in South Africa. I'm trying to keep it short and simple. It was just whatever. It's just introducing the Truth Commission. Says we're gonna beat the truth. We're gonna beat the truth with. We have to beat the truth in you. The truth happens hurts. And then the Truth Commission is right here. So don't really give a fuck. Yeah, the Truth Commission, man. I see it. See some pictures of the Truth Commission. Fucking stupid. You know, you will never do this. Any that faction in phase day you product, man. It's stupid. I think it's stupid. You know, it was just like faction warfare, folks. At the time, Vince Russo was starring as the booker of the company. I don't want to get into it, so it's just like whatever. Truth Commission's gonna show up. You know, beat the truth in America, and also he's really bad talking shit towards the Africans, South Africans, like call them sissy liberals. You know, I don't get it. Why are you calling your your own nation sissy liberals? You're supposed to be like hero to the African people and villains to the American people. I don't get it. Simply do not get it. So Commandant did the promo, and that was it. So moving on to the main event, folks. So the main event, we got Ahmed Johnson taking on Crush, represent the Nation of Domination. This match fucking sucks. It sucked. Two guys, it's just basically just punch. Try to keep it short and simple. D'Lo Brown wearing the tuxedo. Why he's wearing the tuxedo beats me. So anyway, so I'm trying to keep it short and simple. In the end, Crush was going for the heart punch, but instead, Ahmed Johnson, I think he rolled up Crush for the win. And then Farouk, who's wearing a sling, I'm guessing he injured like his arm. I don't know how he injured his arm. He grabbed the mic, says, you know, I don't care if you're from South Africa or North Africa or Timbuktu. You're basically challenging for a match. You know, if you win, beat me and Savile Vega and Crush, I'll release the nation, and that was it. So my final rating, a final rating for this Raw, you know, Raw from the Go Home Show to Revenge of the Taker for the 14th of April 1997, 4 out of 10. Fucking sucked, fucking terrible. Actually, no, it wasn't truly terrible. In the good, the only like 3 things in the good is, in my opinion, is, you know, the Helmsley Jesse James match. It doesn't make me go, wow, I need to go see that Raw again. Wasn't a 4-star classic, but it was the only good match of the show. Austin's promo, you know, the segment with Vince McMahon and Austin. Austin did the promo. You know, Austin's promo was good. Brett's promo in Kuwait was good. But, man, like, the OK, yeah, really nothing in the OK. I called the opener wasn't okay. But, yeah, this was not a good show, man. The technical difficulties, you know, really hurt this show. Like, when I watched this, the commentary, I think it's in the American portion part, or I think it's in the South African part. You know, maybe they don't really have, like, the production value at the time, and, you know, compared to right now, but, wow, it really hurt the show, you know, seeing no commentary to call a match, you know, it really hurt the show, and also, bad matches on the show, like, Rocky Maivia, Savio Vega was boring, Goldust and versus the Sultan wasn't any more important. It was just like, and also the tag team match between Headbangers versus Vader and Mankind. It just felt furthering up the matches on the pay per view. Like Goldust and Sultan is just furthering up, you know, the rivalry between Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Goldust, and the tag team match between Headbangers, Vader and Mankind. It was just furthering up the Mankind's match with the Undertaker. Yeah, I'd rather skip this Raw time. So yeah, this is a thumbs down of a Raw. Still haven't watching Raw from right now, but that's not saying too much. So anyway, so hope you enjoyed my review of Raw is War for the 14th of, and also before that, I've been like doing a Raw in America and doing a normal Raw in America and a house show in South Africa it doesn't really work. You know, stick to one venues. Why do you think WrestleMania 2 failed? Why do you think Raw 25 failed? You know, it just doesn't really work out. So, anyway, so like I said, I hope you enjoyed my review of Raw is War for the 14th of April 1997, the go home show to Revenge of the Taker. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, smash the like button, click the bell, click the like, subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube, be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. And this is the Central Man officially signing out. Check in later, folks.